What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king, welcoming you back to more Pokemon Legends Arceus. In the last episode, we tracked down the entirety of the unknown across this game. Every single letter and exclamation point and question mark, all found. That was done in the last episode. Now, all that remains is, well, just 2 Pokemon left. It's technically, Fiona and Manaphy were not required. I could have gone after those, but I didn't need to. There are, in fact, 2 other optional Pokemon that I don't even know if I'm going to be able to go after because I don't think I have the saves necessary on this particular Switch to make that happen. Maybe, we will see. But as of right now, we really only have 2 Pokemon left before we catch the very big fish, if that makes sense. And we're going to be catching both of those Pokemon today, but today's episode is going to be split into 2 parts. The first part is what we're going to be doing, well, right now. We are here in the Cobalt Coastlands for a reason because, if I can head into the right menu here, that happens to me a lot because I'm still bad with the UI, go all the way down to Request 91 on the trail of Giratina. A huge shadow has been seen in the Cobalt Coastlands, according to Professor Laventon. There's a strong chance it is Giratina, the fearsome Pokemon you once battled. Find out the truth behind the huge shadow in the Cobalt Coastlands. Now, there's not really a lead that tells you where to go. The only indication you have is that after you beat Volo and finish that portion of the game, this cave opens up way over here, and it's called, there it is, Turnback Cave. So we're going to be heading on over that way in this episode and trying to catch Giratina once and for all. It's probably something I actually should have done a little bit sooner than I did, probably before I even went after the Weather Trio, but whatever. You can do this pretty much from the instant that you have defeated Volo. We're going to be doing this today, and then the other half of this episode is going to be going after all of the Wisps that we have left in every single location, which is going to be a speed up with music in the background. I am not going to try to commentate over all of that because that is going to take way too long. Not to mention it's going to be a lot of aimless wandering. That's probably going to take me up to an hour, if not more, of just hunting every single one of them down. So, yeah, I'm not about to subject you guys to that. There's going to be a lot of cutting, a lot of editing, a lot of speeding up, and just finding all of the ones that we haven't already tracked down up to this point. I feel like that's the proper approach. And you might notice also I've got a couple of different team members with me. I figured this would be kind of fun just because, you know, we're getting towards the end of the game at this point, and, you know, maybe going up against Giratina with a team like this isn't the greatest idea. But what I did is I specifically gathered all of my shiny party members together. So we have all 4 shiny Pokemon that I have actually caught throughout the game here. Every single one of them. Let's let them all out. And we can say hi to each of them. Hi, guys. Aww. And look who's asleep, our newest team member. So, yeah, we got our Mothim, we got our Lopunny, we got Darko and Genevieve, the 2 mainstays of our team. This Mothim here that I have taken to naming Nico. And then our Luxray, who is a female, who I've decided to name Nala. I was going to go with Mothrim and Simba, but their genders are exactly swapped for that purpose in particular. So let's put them all back in their balls, and why don't we head on up to Turnback Cave? Now, the reason I have Adam and Roddy is for the explicit reason that they are probably our 2 least used main team members, so I figured I'd give them a little bit more time to shine over the course of whatever episodes we've got left. And we've got quite a few still, because we still have to go through all the remaining requests, which I am a little bit nervous about, particularly the last one, but I don't know. We'll see how this goes. All right. Before I head on inside, I'm obviously going to be saving. I have 37 Ultra Balls, which, given the rate of catching legendaries in this game, I think that's more than enough. If this was like, oh, I don't know, actually Pokemon Platinum, I would probably want a lot more, but I think we'll be fine in this one. All right, and here we go. And so it's Giratina in its altered form as opposed to, no, sorry, in its origin form, excuse me, as opposed to its altered form. So this is going to be a fun fight, isn't it? And by the way, this song kicks a whole lot of butt. All right, here we go. So we're going to be starting off with Roddy here, who actually has the ability to do some decent damage to Giratina, and is probably going to be my most important attacker for this fight. Of course, he's going to miss the first shot he takes. Probably should have gone strong style there, and I didn't, which was dumb. So this is going to be a whole lot of fun trying to stay on our toes against Giratina here. So it gets an agile style and a regular one of those in. That's just great. Okay, I'm going to try an agile style Ceaseless Edge this time. Hopefully it doesn't actually miss. And then we can maybe follow up with something more after the fact. That is definitely going to be super effective. Got the Jagged Splinters in there, which is good, which means I really want to take it easy here. I think I'm actually going to use this turn to heal you up if I can. So there we go. Because I really only have like 3 Pokemon I can... Well, I guess I have 4 I can switch between, but Genevieve is just going to get one shot by this thing as it is. So still dug into... I'm going to do a very gentle Aqua Tail. Hopefully the Jagged Splinters don't absolutely take you out. But we're going to just do a little gentle one. And then I'll let Ceaseless Edge just kind of do the rest of the work here. As it knocks it down into the red. Now it shook off its Splinters. That is perfect. All right, well, you can start chucking Ultra Balls at this thing. Here we go. This is the best position we're going to get it in. So Roddy, everyone, just hang in there and try to tank it. Don't know how many times. Oh, first ball. Okay, well, there we go. Giratina is ours. Beautiful. And if you didn't get to hear that music very well during that fight, don't worry, I'll play it more during the speed up section because, like I said, it's one of the best songs. But there we go. We also get the Grisius Core, which allows us to change Giratina's form on a whim. So let's go report back to Professor Laventon and mention that we have caught the Pokemon. And now really only one remains. And hilariously enough, it's not even a frickin' legendary that we have left to catch. It's probably the most complicated Pokemon to get in the entire game, yet is not a legendary at all. All right. Let's talk, Laventon. Volo eventually returned and told me more about what happened to the Temple of Sinnoh. He said that Giratina, that it chose to protect the land of Hisui after discovering it was no match for you. He said that he would study it and add it to the Pokedex. He wandered off after that, saying this was probably the last time we would meet, but I can't help but feel he's far more invested in our completion of the Pokedex than he would have us know. And on the trail of Giratina is complete. We get a Grit Rock for our troubles, which I am probably going to put into... oh gosh, it's actually incompatible on everybody. Wow. Really? Roddy is not quite high enough on speed. I would need more pebbles for that. Adam is nowhere close. Kind of close on attack. Gosh dang. Wow. All right. Guess we'll have to leave that be. All right, so with all of that done, we are going to actually be doing this in chronological order. I am not going to start here in the coastlands, even though I'm already here. We're going to get here third. We're going to do this all in order so that I can cover a lot of ground, sweep across each of the areas I need to sweep across, and just gather every single wisp that I can get. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of cutting amidst all of the speeding up, because I'm sure there's going to be several minutes, if not longer, of me wandering aimlessly as I try to track everything down. Because as I have learned, trying to do this with a guide of my own is completely futile at this point. I mean, I could, but it would just make it just as obnoxious and just as hard. All right, off to the Obsidian Fieldlands. Let's begin. An hour and 20 minutes to do all of that. Crimson Mirelands and Obsidian Fieldlands went pretty smoothly, but after that, things kind of just fell apart. And particularly Alabaster Icelands, I think I was lost in that one alone for like 30 minutes. So, yeah, not that easy. I will say, I will give the game credit. Even though the draw distance in this game is usually pretty poor, for at least the Wisps and then like any sparkling or shining rocks, I noticed that those two things in particular tend to have a very, very good draw distance, at least amongst everything else. So even if you're looking back at like really low res objects in the background, you can still make out the Wisps sometimes. And I've noticed that that can vary, especially depending on the weather. But we're going to head back. And don't worry, we get a whole lot more than just well, you'll see. We'll get a whole lot more than just a Pokemon. We get a bunch of rewards for gathering all these Wisps. Seed of Mastery, Dust Stone, Experience Candy L, Linking Cord, Grip Pebbles, Reaper Cloth for getting Dusk Noir, Seeds of Mastery, Experience Candy XL, Grit Rocks. Wow, you've got every last one of the Wisps. I really can't thank you enough. Now we can finally seal away the havoc-wreaking bundle of mischief once more. But we'll need to go to the Shrouded Ruins. That's the only place the sealing will work. We should meet there at the same time of day as when we first met. Hope you remember. So at nighttime, huh? All right, well, we need to go to the Crimson Mirelands and see what's up. So let's head straight on over there. But before I do that, I'm actually going to put in some of those items into the teammates that I do have here. Let's start with Nala, just because Nala is the most underleveled, because I mean, might as well work on getting a few of these leveled out. Let's see. How much is one going to do here? Still going to make you the lowest level, so I might as well put you past Nico. There we go. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. Got some more Seeds of Mastery. Got a Dust Stone for my trouble. Rare Candy. I don't know what I'll use that on, but maybe Darko or something like that, because Rare Candies eventually get more valuable than anything but Experience Candy XLs. But let's head on over to the Mirelands camp. And we are going to want to head all the way to the Shrouded Ruins, which is actually just up the hill. In fact, going to the Diamond Settlement might be, I guess Brava Arena would probably be the best idea, and then we can kind of just fly on over there. I learned some pretty nifty traversal techniques. I don't know if you noticed during some of the speed-ups, but being able to just kind of elevate my way up cliffs using Braviary instead of Sneasler at all actually was pretty effective. I found that to be quite interesting, being able to do that time and time and time again. But golly, does it take forever to do exactly what you want to do. All right, so here we are at the Shrouded Ruins, and I would assume this is going to work. Akari, I'm glad you came. Let's get started, shall we? First of all, a confession. I may have told you one teeny tiny lie about the Wisps. There are actually 108 of them. I've been holding on to the last one. Could you put it in the odd keystone with the others? But wait, before that, well, Akari, what do you think of me? I don't really know you. Really? Even after gathering 107 wisps? Well, it's fine. We have time after all. Here it goes. The final wisp. After this, the traveler who used that strange magic will finally forgive me, right? Close your eyes for a sec, would you? Where'd she go? Receive the last wisp. The odd keystone disappeared without a trace. Making you gather all those wisps was my last bit of mischief. Thanks for playing along. Please don't forget about me. And Eerie Apparitions at Night is complete. We get some twice spiced radishes for it, which is actually a pretty good ingredient. But hold on, you sense the presence of a strange Pokemon. What is this? What strange Pokemon? Oh, hello there. Well, what do you know? That's completely unexpected. Get back here. You are not going anywhere. And so, we have a Spiritomb, a female Spiritomb, no less. Is this possibly her? Quite, maybe? I honestly don't know. But you know what? I actually feel I'm a little worried about throwing Darko at this thing. So why don't I take a more gentle approach? What can I use here? Let's use Adam's Poison Jab. And we'll go with some mild hits here, because the last thing I want to do is knock this thing out, because this is the last Pokemon necessary for our Pokedex. So let's just go with a gentle little agile style Poison Jab. See how much it actually does here. Probably not a lot, I would assume. I don't want to cause any poisoning whatsoever. Goodness me. And you notice, look at what Spiritomb actually comes out of. It is, in fact, the odd keystone. So yes, this is how we are supposed to summon this Pokemon. Not the most enjoyable task, and probably the most tedious Pokemon to catch in the entire game, but once you're able to get it exactly where you want it to be, and after Adam takes a Dark Pulse on top of that nasty plot, we can start throwing Ultra Balls at this thing. Now, this thing does not have the catch rate of a legendary, so it shouldn't be too bad, but it still is not like the easiest catch rate in the world. So it might take a couple tries, but we'll see. Oh no, we got it on the first Pokeball, and there it is. We have caught ourselves Spiritomb. And with that, everybody, 239 Pokemon caught. We really only have one Pokemon left to get. But we are not going to be doing that in the next episode. That is going to be the finale. Next episode, guys, we are going to be jumping back into, well, the rest of the requests. I mean, we did one there. We've got a whole myriad of requests left to do, and actually more to pick up back at the village as well. I'm going to actually consult a guide and make sure that I'm not missing any quests or any requests therein, and I'm sure I'm missing actually quite a few that I'm going to need to go and pick up as we kind of just check everything off. We've got a fair bit done already. I mean, you can see about half of them are already pretty much done. A lot of them were heavily dependent on the quest, the quests that we were actually doing and were necessary for progression anyways. Most of the rest of them, not so much, but there's still clearly some things in here that we're going to need to catch. You can see here, we got to add things to the clothier's lineup, all sorts of stuff that we're going to have to work on, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So guys, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this episode very, very much, and I will see you all in the next one.